Alright, so I've been coming to Canada since 2023, and every visit I learn something new. Today, I want to share 5 things I genuinely love about this country, and 3 things I find a bit challenging. Let's start with the positives. Before I visited Canada for the first time, I already knew Canadians had a reputation for being friendly. It's almost a cliche at this point, but it is true. Every time I return, I'm reminded of how polite, kind, and helpful people are here. And Canada is also a very educated country. Almost 60% of adults between 25 and 64 have post-secondary education, one of the highest rates in the world. You really feel that in daily interactions. Okay, before you think I'm out of my mind, let me explain. What I love about Canada is that you actually experience all 4 seasons, and each one is distinct. Even winter, which is cold, still feels lively with Christmas markets, ice skating rinks, festivals, and events everywhere. And the biggest difference compared to the Netherlands is the sunlight. Even in winter months, you get clear skies and bright days. Living in a very great country, this is a huge upgrade and something I genuinely enjoy. Alright, Toronto especially is one of the most multicultural places I've ever been. You feel the mix of cultures everywhere, and people from very different backgrounds coexist here with a real sense of harmony. Different neighborhoods, cultural events throughout the year, and the food. Honestly, it feels like the world's cuisine is already here. You don't need to travel far. You can find anything you want. It makes the city dynamic, open, and incredibly interesting. Okay, if you love nature like I do, Canada is a dream. It's a huge country with a relatively small population, so it never feels crowded. From British Columbia to Alberta, and even here in Ontario, you're surrounded by lakes, forests, and mountains. You don't need to go far to find stunning nature. I really love that. Okay, Canada feels very safe. It has the best parts of Europe, like universal healthcare and the social system that works. Combined with the ambition and drive you see in the US, it's a nice balance and a lifestyle that many people find appealing. Before I move on to the cons, I just wanted to share that I'm currently in a really charming village called Blue Mountain in the Collingwood area, about 2 hours from Toronto. It is such a special place to be in December. Alright, so no place is perfect. While I really enjoy Canada, here are a few things that I find less enjoyable or I find it difficult to adjust. If you love traveling like I do, Canada is far from, well, everywhere. In Europe, we take it for granted that we can travel 1 or 2 hours and end up in a different culture, language, or climate. From Canada, flights are longer, more expensive, and fewer destinations are close by. So for someone who travels often, Europe is still the better base. Okay, I honestly can't get used to this. It feels like tipping has gotten a bit out of hand. Everywhere you go, you're presented with tipping options starting at 15–18% and going up to 30%, even at coffee takeouts. In the Netherlands, I also tip, but usually by rounding up or giving around 10% for great service. And it's not even expected. Here, choosing the lowest option sometimes feels like you're signaling that the service was bad. And at restaurants, it's very normal to give 20–25%, which is quite surprising to me. It really adds up. If you spend $2,000 over time, adding a 20% tip means an extra $400 gone. Almost like hiring someone to stand between you and the restaurant. What's interesting is that in Canada, I've heard that servers earn a regular wage, unlike in the US. So with both base pay and tips, I imagine they must be doing quite well. Okay, especially in downtown Toronto, the level of visible homelessness and substance-related issues is striking. Coming from the Netherlands, this really stands out. Even in larger Dutch cities, homelessness isn't as visible, and you wouldn't necessarily notice if someone was experiencing it just based on appearance. It is clearly a challenge the city is facing. So these were 5 things I love about Canada and 3 things I don't. If you've been to Canada or if you live here, let me know what your experience has been. I always love hearing different perspectives. Thank you.